Welcome to another day where I'm providing you with practical tips to improve your workplace culture. This is part 2 of the Agape Love segment of this 40-day journey. And the part of Agape Love or Agapeo love is that love is truly the foundation for our leadership. As servant leaders or spiritual leaders, love is at the heart of everything we do. It's where we get our motivation. It is just that essence of how everything flows through our being, whether it's the way that we act, the words that we say, our agenda for the team, our process in how we show others what it means to be a loving leader. So let me get started with part 2, which is about what love is. If you want to look at part 1, that talks more about what love is not. So love is patient. When we talk about being patient, we truly do simply have patience. We're willing to stand with our team. Despite the obstacles and failures that have occurred, we're going to stick it out with them and persevere. We'll have patience that we'll get through whatever issues we have, and we will finish the project. Love is kind. And this is where we put our own selfish gain aside, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to help our team. So we might sacrifice our own time, money, energy, whatever it takes, because in being kind, we're there to help. We're there to serve. And we'll do that even at our own cost. And we rejoice in truth. So with this, we celebrate good behavior and we promote virtuous conduct. When we celebrate in the truth, we hold each other accountable. We raise each other to higher standards because we show that we won't tolerate bad behavior. We won't tolerate cheating or lying or stealing or cutting corners to get the job done. We want to have a standard of excellence. And that's what we do when we rejoice in truth. Bears all things. And with this one, we're talking about the leader protecting their flock. If you think about it, as a leader, we have a responsibility to our staff, right? We're there to be a shield between them and other people. And so we're protecting them from pressures, from trials, from resentment or anger that may come from outside sources. And as the leader, we're trying to just take the brunt of that pressure for them and field it so that I remember with my staff, sometimes even ethical dilemmas would happen. And I would say, no, I'm not having my people do that. And so it's truly the leader being that border, being that boundary, that nothing is going to happen to my team. They're mine. I'm shepherding them. I'm protecting them. So I'm taking the brunt. I'm bearing all things. Believes all things. And with believing all things, we're not here to just be gullible and to think, oh, they can do anything that they want. The believing all things is to have a reasonable expectation that we can accomplish great things together, right? And we can. But it's also that idea that we have discernment of realistic expectations. And that doesn't mean you can't have stretch goals, because stretch goals are great. But it means that if we have a team that is habitually late with meeting deadlines, and they say, hey, we're going to meet this deadline, well, you don't just blindly believe that, but you do support them, and you give them all the tools they need to succeed. So in believing all things, we overlook previous offenses and failures, and we do expect the best, but we do that with a realistic expectation. Hopes all things is more of a focus on the future. And with this, we're most definitely ensuring that the team has everything they need to succeed, all the tools. So if they are habitually late, we look at, why are they habitually late? Is there something that's causing this roadblock or causing them to stumble? Let's dig into this and make sure that we give them the tools they need to succeed. Not necessarily pave the road ahead of them for success, right? But just make sure that we have set them up for success. And with hoping all things, it's more than just a wish. It's a trust and an expectation that they will deliver on their promise. So again, that goes back to making sure that the expectations are realistic. If you think about SMART goals, you have that specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goal. We need to make sure that it's relevant, that it's attainable, so that we can hope and have trust and confidence that they'll meet their goal. And endures all things. When we think about endurance, sometimes we think about really hard situations, very hard situations. Maybe if we have a family member that has cancer and they've endured this diagnosis for years, and you've seen them just have difficulties with everything. That's endurance. Or you see somebody run a race. I've run a mini marathon a couple of times, and so 13.1 miles, that's endurance. It's not really comparable to somebody fighting cancer, but in the same fashion, you have to endure to get through 13.1 miles. The endurance can also be in your workplace if you're overcoming a difficult season. Maybe the company is downsizing and your staff's really feeling some uncertainty, and you can tell that there's a lack of trust or there's some conflict within the group. To get through that season will take endurance. It will take a lot of love, a lot of grace, a lot of effort, but endurance as well. And so I want to encourage you to do all of these things as being a loving leader and endure with your team. Remain steadfast with them while they go through difficult times. So my assignment for you today is to really reflect on your own behavior. How are you doing with your endurance? Are you right there alongside your team when they're going through challenges? Do you hope and believe and bear all things with them? Just think about those. What can you do to offer more hope within your team, to give them more support, to believe in them, maybe even just tell them you believe in them? And then bearing that brunt, are there outside influences that's tearing your team apart? Can you help to shelter them? And rejoicing in the truth. This is an amazing opportunity for you to really spotlight virtuous behavior and celebrate. Showcase that you will stand with them and that you will support them and that you won't tolerate shortcuts and cheating and taking the easy way out, but you will rejoice in the fact that they're growing, they're learning, they're becoming more honorable, more respectful, virtuous people. And how's your patience and kindness? Are you sometimes a little irritable or maybe rude? Let's just do a gut check with that and make sure that you're patient and kind. You know, one of the lessons that I've learned over the years is that not everybody gets to the same place in the same time. For some people, it takes them a little bit longer. And this is where I love taking a look at their strengths, because in a team, you'll have people with different strengths. And some people will just catch on to things faster. And other people will work harder. And some will just be more diligent. And you'll have some that will partner with you and ask challenging questions. And so recognizing those strengths, rejoicing that each person's unique, and honoring their authentic differences is truly remarkable. It's a great way to build your team and to help one another. Okay, well, my name is Dr. Deborah Dean, and I'm here to help you and your team to build a better culture to improve morale, engagement, to really raise that awareness of who they are authentically. If I can be of any help, reach out to me at drdebradeen.com. There's a contact form on there, and fill it out, and I would love to chat. Have a great day.